Good morning, everyone. We're up to Parak Mishna Yud Gimel. Amar Rabbi Yossi, the sage Rabbi Yossi said, Ma'aseh Lefnei Rabbi Akiva, a case came before Rabbi Akiva, B'chamishim agudah shel yarak, 50 bundles of vegetables, Shenafla achas mehem l'seichan chetzia truma, that another bundle fell into that mixture of 50 bundles, and half of that bundle that fell in was truma. Okay, so let's repeat the case. You've got 50 bundles of chulin, 50 bundles of regular bundles of vegetables. And now another bundle fell in, an identical bundle fell in, just that half of that bundle was truma. So Rabbi Yossi says, this is a case that came before Rabbi Akiva. I was there. And I said before him, Tala, the bundle has been nullified. And being that he did not respond, that meant his silence meant that he agreed. Now the Mishna explains, or Rabbi Yossi explains, not because we say that truma can be nullified with 50 at 51, rather because there were 102 halves there. Meaning, you really have a total of how many bundles in this case? 51. So when Rabbi Yossi said that the truma is nullified, it's not because I have 50 against 1. That doesn't work. That's not the right number. But rather it's because I have 100 halves and 2 halves, because I have 102 halves. If I have 102 halves, then if I look at the halves, then I have 100 halves against the 50 half that was truma. That's the way it's working, says Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says the way it works is that being that the bundle that fell in was half chulin and half truma, and I have 50 bundles that are full chulin, these are all identical, it comes out that I have 100 times more than the half bundle of truma that fell in. So that makes sense. What's the chiddush? What's the novel idea here? The novel idea here is that bundle that fell in, which was half truma and half chulin, in itself was maduma. In itself was a mixture, a grain that had a mixture of truma and chulin, and it was forbidden because we don't know which is which. And there's certainly not enough in that one bundle to nullify the truma. So what's happening here is that I really already have a bundle that is meduma, which means halachically it's forbidden to eat because of truma, and that's what fell now into the other 50 bundles. So perhaps I might say that since before it fell in, it was already meduma, before it fell in, it was already in the state of safek truma, is this truma or not? I might think that I have to look at the entire bundle that fell in as if it's truma. I know really it's only half truma, but I don't know which half. So the whole thing is forbidden. So I might have thought that now when it comes to these rules of nullifying, that I have to look at that bundle as if it's completely truma, and now I need 100 times of that. For that, Rabbi Yossi said, no, I can go ahead and I can look. I don't have to do that. The half a bundle that fell in, it's true, it's meduma, it's already forbidden, but I know really it's half truma and it's half chulin, and meaning that it's half truma, it's enough that I have 100 halves against that to nullify it. Okay, that works. What's interesting to point out is that, right? What's interesting to point out is that the wording of the Mishnah is Ela shahayu shamea ushnei chetziyam. The reason why it was nullified is because there were 102 halves. Now, 102 halves. What's the calculation of 102 halves? That's the total. Because I started off with 50 bundles, that's 100 halves. And I had the truma, the bundle that was half truma, half chulin that fell in, half of it is truma, half of it is chulin. So that's chulin should also be able to combine together with everything, can theoretically combine together with everything else to go ahead and nullify the other half. Okay, that could work. You could also say it's not necessary. I don't need that half because I have the 100 halves already. Okay, but here's the question. What happens if instead of falling into 50, the case of Mishna was the one fell into 50? Okay. What happened if that one fell into 49 and a half bundles of chulin? I have 49 and a half bundles. That means I have 99 halves. Okay. And now when I have the bundle that's half truma and half chulin fall in, my total now is not 102, it's 101, which means I would be needing the other half of the bundle that fell in that is already meduma, that's already forbidden because maybe it's truma. I mean, we know it's chulin, but it's forbidden already. I'm going to be using that half. The question is now, in that case, if I want to have enough to be mavatal, I have to use that half of the bundle that fell in, which I know is chulin, to nullify the other half together with the other 49. Meaning the case of the Mishnah is I had a total of 102 at the end. I had the 50 bundles, right? I had 100 halves there. What if I don't have that? I start off with 49 and a half bundles. And now when the next bundle that's half chulin, half truma falls in, I'm going to have a total of 101, which means my 100 is using the half of the bundle that was together with the chulin, that was together with the truma. There was really chulin. I'm combining that with the rest to nullify the half bundle that's truma. Can I do that? Well, the question is, when the Mishnah said 102, did it have to be 102 or not? And what it means is like this. If you say that, the question is really like this. Although he said that I don't need 100 bundles because I know that the bundle that fell in was only half truma, even though it's meduma, the question is, though, that maybe the half that is meduma cannot be part of the nullifying of the other part. It may not say that now, in order to nullify the truma part, I need more than 50 halves, but I'm not able to include that chulin, that part that I know is chulin. I can't use that with the other halves because that is meduma. And if it's meduma, I can't use it to nullify the other truma. So if you say that I can't use the half of the chulin half of the bundle that was mixed with the truma because it's meduma, I can't use that to nullify. Then in the Mishnah's case, I really needed a total of 102. I needed another 50 bundles, another 100 halves, because then I want to have 100 halves to nullify the half of truma. So there are some who learn that way, that the 102 is that way because I cannot use the half of the meduma bundle, the chulin half of the bundle that I don't know which part is chulin or truma. I can't use that to nullify. So I need another 100 halves to nullify it. For those who say no, they say you don't need that. Even the half that's part of it, that's meduma, the half that was part of the bundle, that half it was truma and half it was not truma, the half was chulin. The half that's chulin, I can combine it and use it with the other, in the case of 49 and a half, to say I have 100 halves against the half truma. So why did Mishnah say 102? The answer is, because that was the case. That was the story. Because that was the story. The Mishnah said it can come up in 102 because I have 102. But not that you needed not that you needed 102 as a total. So that's an interesting question regarding the end of the Mishnah. Okay. Okay, next mitzvah. They have a commandment against being intimate with one's aunt. With one's aunt being the wife of your father's brother. That is not permitted to do. Shenemar, as it says, to his wife you shall not come close. It is your aunt. Now again, this prohibition is Eishes Achi Aviv, the wife of your father's brother. Shenemar, as it says, okay. This prohibition only applies if the brother, it's your father's brother, and they have the same father. If it's your father's brother, and they both have the same father, that is what this prohibition is talking about when it says the wife of your father's brother you may not be intimate with. If he is intimate with her in the lifetime while his uncle is alive, the punishment for both of them with witnesses in mourning would be strangulation, because besides being your father's brother's wife, she's married. And after the uncle dies, so it's only the prohibition of your father's brother's wife, that intentionally, even with witnesses in warning, that intentionally there's only a punishment of kares, of divine severance of life, which again, there's no capital punishment. And it was done unintentionally, then there's a sin offering. And the second tier rabbinic relatives that are forbidden to marry would be like this: the wife of your father's brother, and they were brothers from the same mother, so his wife is forbidden according to rabbinic law. The eishes achi ha'im, and then also the wife of your mother's brother. See, our case was the wife of your father's brother, and now we're talking about the wife of your mother's brother. Bein mina'ah, bein mina'im, whether it is your mother's brother because they share the same father, or whether they only share the same mother. Either way, midrabanan, the wife of your mother's brother is forbidden. This applies in all places at all times. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.